full match stats. This is now 13 consecutive wins in a single season, which means they equal Chelsea, Arsenal, and then two teams from way back at the end of the 19th century, Preston North End and Sunderland. This is in the history of English top-flight history. So if Manchester United go to Old Trafford next weekend and win, they will break the record. Another really good result for Manchester City. But, Robbie Earle, they're leaving it a little bit late in recent weeks. Is there anything to be concerned about if you're a City fan?
If you're the rest of the league, Rebecca, your hope is that the margins are getting smaller. That's the third game now that's 2-1. They've conceded goals. Maybe set pieces, corner kicks have been a problem. The worry is they keep finding a way. It's a fourth straight game now. They've scored a goal in the 83rd minute or later, whether it's Sterling, whether it's Silva today, whether it's Jesus. They've got so much quality in the team, eventually they're going to believe they'll find a way.
And when they fall behind, in a funny way, Pep Guardiola has said a couple of times in recent weeks, he likes that because it forces his team to show another type of their play.
Yeah, and they've shown it to be great. But the manager himself, again, I'll say it again, there's changes that were made in that to enable all those City players to be forward. You know, they went from the 3, they went from a 4-2-4, to enable De Bruyne and David Silva that were playing as central midfield players to them to get forward. The left-back Delph comes into midfield. It's a little bit complicated, but it's impressive that he rejigs based on the situation in the game to get what he wants. He got it today, and you know, I just think there's times they're not playing well over the last few weeks. They go behind, but they've got at least 2 goals, it seems, in every game in the league anyway, and that's what's pulling them through.
I think the point that Robbie makes as well is that Pep almost gets what everybody else has done. He started, Fabian Delph started in a midfield position. Then he had him at left back. By the time they needed the goal, he went back into midfield, and the midfield players went as forwards. They ended up having 6 forwards on the pitch who've all got goal threat.
Where does this leave the title race?
Well, 8-point gap. Manchester United, massive game next weekend. They'll feel they have to win. It's just great. I mean, it's a great...
Still on.
Yeah, it's still on. There's a long way to go.
The last 3 games give you hope that, listen, they've struggled. At some point, that margin might go. If United win and can close that gap to 5, we've still got a race.
OK, appointed 4 games under him and no wins yet. 28 unbeaten, as I said, in all competitions. They extend their own record by 8 over the last time they managed 20 unbeaten was in the 60s and then just a few seasons ago. So what a run Manchester City are on. Well, let's take you live back to the Etihad. Arlo White and Graham Lasso, who called the game for us, are joining us now. And, gentlemen, the technique, as we just saw, from that winning goal was remarkable. But we shouldn't be surprised. It's David Silva.
Yeah, it's David Silva and it's Kevin De Bruyne as well with his 8th assist in the Premier League this season. They just find a way, however late, to prise open a defence like West Ham who are defending deep, you know, with a 5 and a 4 that you described. And it takes moments of magic and artistry like that to break a side down, and they just keep at it, don't they, Manchester City?
And it's also composure, because those situations are so frustrating when you're dominating and you just can't get the breakthrough and you're running out of time. You become more urgent, more desperate. But the composure that De Bruyne showed with the pass, it was just a lofted pass into a perfect area. Rice, the defender, was absolutely excellent in terms of the way he positioned himself all afternoon. He couldn't do anything about it. And the awareness from Silva to keep the ball in his sight and control it back onto target was absolutely excellent.
A very special winning goal. They scored one against Huddersfield late on, against Southampton here, and they've got one in the last 10 minutes to get the points and re-establish that 8-point lead ahead of the derby over Manchester United. David Moyes, has he got something to build on at least? Look, they've got 10 points. They've got Chelsea and Arsenal next. It's tough, but have they got something to build on?
Oh, a lot to be positive about. I think when you look at the chances that they created, given the lack of possession that they had, the urgency, the togetherness and the identity of the team, I think there are lots of things that David Moyes can be very, very positive about.
Okay.